Welcome to PPR Podcast number 113. My name is Rudy. To my right, the undisputed star of the podcast, Mr. Burt Rudy, former first-round pick in the NFL, the 8th pick overall, and what was an NFL career that consisted of 49 and a half sacks? 46?
Yeah, like 45, I think.
45 sacks.
We didn't keep playoffs.
Anyhow, if not for an injury, we'd probably still be talking about you playing. Would you like to introduce the man on the hot seat?
Yes, Mason Walsh from Carlsbad. You'll know him as a running back. If you're a wrestling fan, you'll know him as a wrestler. I got questions on both.
Well, let's start it up. Mason, how you doing so far?
Good. Thank you guys for having me.
Oh, it's an honor. It's an honor. You know, everyone, when they think of Carlsbad, they think of that quarterback. What's his name? Help me out.
Julian Sayin,
the five-star Bama bomb boy. But he has a lot of tools and highly acclaimed players around him, and you're one of those players. Because tell everybody that, do the trivia question.
No, I have a different one that to illustrate it. Because I remember, after your open game, Roderick Robinson's dad put a tweet out saying how great you were, balance, speed, just everything, and just saying how great a running back you are. That's pretty high praise coming from his dad, who sees everybody. He's been to Georgia, goes down there, and then right after the championship game, just could not stop talking about you.
Yeah, that's a huge honor. Obviously, Roderick is one of the best running backs in San Diego, and having his dad give me that type of praise is definitely really awesome, and like I said, a huge honor.
Let's go back to that game. I know it's a painful memory, but boy, the first prep game to ever be played at Snapdragon, and it was a Donnybrook.
Yeah, it was so fun. Even though we lost, it's one of my favorite games. It was just so much fun to play on that stage. But, it was just a really fun game, really hard game.
What's the thing you remember most from it?
The first play, for sure. Scoring on that first play is like I couldn't hear anything. Oh, my gosh, it was just so different and so fun.
How was the bus ride home?
Quiet. It was dead silent on the bus. We had a lot of juniors playing in that game, so everyone kind of was already thinking about this season, and it was just quiet on that bus and sad.
Because, everyone's looking at Lincoln again as the team to beat in the county, and rightfully so. They have a lot of quality players. They seem to have rebuilt really quickly after losing, the Silver Pigskin Player of the Year. Do you feel like you're almost in the more enviable position that people aren't talking? Everyone recognizes the Lancers are a good program, are going to have a good team, but it's nice to have that attention off your back and let everyone talk about Lincoln now, and you'll deal with it again when you play them at Snapdragon again.
Yeah, obviously I would like to have that attention. I would have loved to win that Open Division championship, but we didn't, obviously, and now we're in that position where we don't have as much. We're not being talked about as much, but there's a good chance we play them again, and I'm really looking forward to that. They're a great team. Obviously, not many teams can come back from being behind in that fourth quarter, and they did. So, they're definitely a great team, and there's a good chance we'll play them again.
So I want to go back to that because I don't know if a lot of people know. You're 3-time CIF champ, 2-time Masters champ in wrestling. Mm-hmm. You get done that game, like how quick does wrestling start for you right after that night?
Well, I actually was late to the wrestling season because of football. I think there was like a 2-week overlap due to the playoffs. So I started wrestling, I think that Monday, or maybe I gave it a week off, but I think I started wrestling pretty soon after that game.
God, right after the championship game, right into wrestling like that.
Yes.
In a way, it was nice, though, because it didn't give me much time to really think about that game and kind of move on to the next thing.
Mason, going through high school, I played football, and so constantly hung out with football guys, but my respect was always in the wrestling room, especially kids that had to make weight. You're sitting here having 2 quarter-pound cheeseburgers, and they're counting their P's. And I don't know if you have to wrestle at a weight that requires you to drop weight, but, man, the kids that do, when you're young and you just want to eat everything, that's dedication.
Yeah, it's definitely brutal, but throughout my wrestling career, I've really tried to stay away from cutting weight. I'd rather wrestle up a weight class than be stronger and healthy. I think that's definitely helped me a lot, for sure, is wrestling up a weight class instead of dropping down and dehydrating myself and not getting the right nutrition.
So what do you wrestle at?
Well, the weight class has changed this year. So last year I was at 184, and then it works out perfectly for me because it'll be 190 this year. So I have some room to eat and grow, especially because of football and this offseason I was trying to get bigger. So it works out perfectly.
What do you do? Because in high school, I was in track, and I was probably better in track than I was in football till my senior year. And there was always this thing, we call it selfish or whatever, but if you're that good at an individual sport, it's hard to be a team player, or it was for me anyway, because I was used to being so good at a single sport. Do you ever struggle with that you're so good at this one sport just by yourself, but now you have to assimilate into a team where you have to rely on everybody else?
Not really. Obviously, wrestling is an individual sport when you're out on the mat, but behind the scenes, like at practice, and we have dual meets, it's definitely a team sport, and you have to pick each other up. When someone's down after they lose a tough match, you have to be there for them. So I'd say wrestling honestly helps me with being a better team player for football.
What's your signature takedown move?
Call it a short carry. It's kind of, I have the guy's arm and I kind of dump him over. I'd say that's my bread and butter a little bit.
You ever use the people's elbow?
Show me what that is.
That's the Rock, people's elbow. You got to come. You don't watch WWE? Come on.
No.
That's real wrestling. Come on.
So how does it work?
You got to do.
No, not the people's elbow. The
I'm not doing it on you if that's what you're going to ask right now.
I just want to know how.
Wow.
The move works?
Yeah, walk us through it real quick, slowly.
So we'll both be up on our feet, and he'll have me in what's called a front headlock. So he'll have me in a headlock, and my head will be down, and I'll grab his shoulder or his arm and keep that tight, and then dump him over to his side. So he has nothing supporting him. If I have his arm, he has nothing supporting him as I pull him over.
Man, doesn't it get rough?
It's hard to explain without. It's hard to explain.
Yeah, I know.
But you go through like a 14-game football season, and you get a few days off, and then you got to go right to that.
What's hard?
Yeah.
What's harder for you as an athlete?
Wrestling for sure. Wrestling's the hardest thing that I've ever done, and I think it's gonna be the hardest thing that I'll ever do for the rest of my life. It's such a hard sport, but at the same time, it's one of the most rewarding when you win. Yeah.
So that begs the question: you obviously have options at football and wrestling at the next level. Is it going to be one or the other, or both?
Obviously, both would be really cool, but I think football is definitely the priority right now. But if wrestling comes along later in life, I'll definitely take that opportunity.
But so this is how much? I mean, how much is too much on your plate? Because I see you get Ivy League offers. So you have Ivy League academics, then go through a brutal football schedule with academics, then a wrestling schedule with academics. Is that even doable?
I think my whole life I've kind of juggled a bunch of sports, so my time management has definitely gotten very good. And I think because of me having to juggle those sports, I've done better in school just because I don't have time to procrastinate. So I think it honestly would benefit me.
It can't hurt to have as much interest paid towards your quarterback. Certainly all those recruiters, when they come visit your school or looking at your tape, and the fact that you're in the picture, often excelling as well as the quarterback. Any overlap there? Does that splash on you as far as recruiting interest?
A little bit. Julian definitely brings in a lot of college attention to the school. So him bringing that attention definitely kind of exposes me and to those college coaches, and I think that's really cool. It's really fun.
So how does that work? So this year, Julian commits to Alabama. Other coaches are still coming around and creeping in, like Georgia did to UCLA with Rod last year, right? You're still getting full press?
Yeah, a little bit, yeah. But not as many schools for Julian as much for kind of the lower level schools. I wouldn't say lower level, just not Julian level schools. More schools that are realistic for me and a couple of the other guys on the team are coming through. And that's obviously super cool and super fun.
Can we say names?
I got to ask you a question. Hold up, because I'm doing Jude for Shaq's Pigpen. Give me something good on Jude. Say.
Jude used to wrestle actually. So Jude has Navy, and I think he really likes Navy, but I think he's going to keep his options open and see how this season goes. But I think there's a chance he wrestles his senior season as well.
Really?
And what does he wrestle at?
He's going to probably try to be heavyweight, which heavyweight varies from, I think it's 220 all the way up to 285.
How long can you stay on your feet with him?
Yeah, could you beat him?
With Jude? Yeah, I can beat Jude just because I have the experience on him. But he obviously has the weight. But just the experience is so important in wrestling.
You think you could beat Brandon Stone?
Who's that?
All right. Could you beat? All right. Say me and Burt were to take you on in a 2-on-1 match. Could you beat?
I think I could take you guys. I think I could take you guys.
I carry a knife.
I don't know about Burt.
I carry a knife.
No, Burt's from the city, man. You haven't met Burt. underneath it all is mean.
No, I'm not.
No, you haven't encountered his kind of mean.
That's
Trust
not
me.
true. Just to you. Just to you.
We could take him.
So who's
All right.
right.
I just get him down low, and then you can...
I got to put you back on track.
Okay.
Your running backs. It can be. I mean, you watch the game. There's what? Kevin Allen at Helix. There's McMillan. There's you. Anybody else we're missing? Like, who's your favorite running back other than yourself around the county?
I really like El Camino's running back, Devin. We've gone to some camps together, and he's such a great guy. He's such a nice kid, and he's also a great running back. He recently committed to Cal Poly. I'm super happy for him, and I'm just super excited to see how his season goes as well.
Are you going to be playing linebacker a lot this year or no?
But I'll play linebacker a little bit more than last year, which I'm looking forward to because I really enjoy defense. But for the most part, I think I'm going to be on offense with a little bit of defense sprinkled in.
I was watching your camp clips, the 7-on-7s.
Mm-hmm.
You get a lot of space, but it doesn't look like you're that fast. But you're also like a bully because you're pretty physical at the point of contact for having shorts and nothing else on.
Yeah.
Do you intimidate people that way and then they give you that space, or you just that fast deceptively?
I don't know if I intimidate them, but maybe I have a little bit of finesse in terms of that. But I'd say it's really when the pads come on that I'm really excited and really motivated to play. It's hard to stay motivated when you're just doing 7-on-7 checkdowns with, especially when Julian's just airing it out a lot of the time. But I'm really looking forward to pads coming on and just getting the season started.
At what point, when did you first meet Julian?
I would say I was a freshman and he was playing on varsity, so we didn't really interact that much. So I'd say we really started to get close probably last year, really, because that was the first year that I played on varsity.
At what point did you realize this is a different cat?
As soon as freshman year, he didn't play too much because he was behind his brother, but I would still see him at practice and at left coast, and he was definitely something else.
What's the most impressive thing you've seen him do?
Probably just how far he can throw. He can air that ball out, and he can put that ball on somebody with so much accuracy, and it's just fun to watch.
Man, because his base has gotten. We used to see him; he was kind of a spindly.
Yeah, he's gotten thicker.
Yeah, he's got. And then to win that, the 11s competition was. Wow, I mean.
How would Julian do at wrestling?
Yeah, you could beat him there, couldn't you?
He always plays with me and says that he would beat me, but I'll believe it when I see it. He's yet to beat me at wrestling.
Yeah, I don't think people like when I was at Pitt. The kid next to me was a two-time All-American at 147, and he used to just beat me. We'd mess around, but he would just 100. There was a 100-pound weight difference, but they're incredible. The balance, the moves, the things they do. It's hard to match.
Yeah, like I was saying that technique and experience is very important in wrestling, and that weight kind of doesn't matter as much.
Right.
I got a question.
Well, you're stepping on
you're
my
right.
question.
Go ahead.
Just because I want to get this out there,
Go
we're
ahead.
going to forget. Because the trivia question is, who was the Avocado League Player of the Year?
Yeah, were you guys co-offensive player of the years for the league last year?
I'm not too sure, honestly. I know that they had the Avocado, the league team, and I don't know who the player of the year was for.
I thought you and
Avocado
Julian
League.
were co on offense. I remember it being.
Is that possible?
Maybe. I don't
possible.
know. I don't know. It's possible. I don't know who won that.
So going into that, he obviously, I think, would you have 1,400 yards last year? Big game, over 200 yards in the open division against the best defense in the county. You also have the best quarterback in the country. It's tendency everybody wants to air it up at that point. Are you going to be coming out of the backfield more as a throwing threat, or you think they'll be able to balance your runs?
I think it all depends on the game. I think with Julian and with our great receivers, people are going to have to respect that, which it'll open me up to run the ball. But if people kind of load the box and are trying to stop me, then it'll open up Julian. So as long as we're getting things done, I don't really mind whether we're running the ball a lot or throwing the ball a lot.
Yeah, I don't want to go on a limb and say how much I like Carlsbad this year, maybe above Lincoln, but I mean, you bring up a good point. It's how do you load the box when you have a quarterback like that, and how do you not load the box when you have a running back like that, and you guys have a good offensive line? It's kind of...
Yeah, you guys are going to present a lot. You're going to be problematic for a lot of folks.
I'm excited. I'm really looking forward to it.
And you get some national TV time.
Yeah, that's going to be super fun.
When did you hear about that? And what's the word on campus?
We heard about it a little bit prior to summer, but it was more of a rumor and not really set in stone type of thing, but it's definitely going to be a lot of fun playing on ESPN and that big stage. And I don't think there's any other Saturday games going on at that point, at least in our area. So it's going to be a lot of people. It's going to be a lot of fun.
You guys have it's known you probably have the best game day experience in the county, or at least the top one.
Yeah, tell us about that.
It's always sold out no matter what you do. What do they do for ESPN game? You bring in extra seats? I mean, because
I don't know how they're going to do it, but our loud crowd is so great. I'm a part of the ASB recently, so I kind of hear the planning side of things, and they do such a good job at planning things and making sure the games are such a good environment for everybody.
Yeah, it is. I mean,
how did that come to be? I mean, it's been that way for a while. What's the driving force behind that? Is that just tradition?
I think the ASB has a big factor in making the games fun, and they have a lot of say in how it goes and how the games are going to look. So I think ASB is definitely driving that and making that great.
Well, congratulations on that. Hey, over the years, you've probably been playing sports since you can remember. In life or in sports, what's the best piece of advice you've ever received?
I'd say have short-term memory, because mistakes are going to happen in sports, and I think getting over those mistakes and not letting them affect your play is very, very important, and kind of moving on quickly and letting your mistakes kind of brush off your back.
And right now, if you had to pick a college today, who would it be?
I don't know. I have to see at the end of the season what my options are, but obviously Columbia gave me an offer, and I definitely think about taking that, because any school that's willing to give me a chance is something that I'm interested in. But I also like UC Davis and the University of Montana. I like both of those schools a lot.
So I'm going to ask you this, because every parent probably asks this, and every adult. Is it possible to turn down a prestigious Ivy League $100,000 a year tuition in New York to go to Montana?
It would definitely be tough, but it's just different levels of football. And Columbia is such a great school, so it'd be very, very hard to turn down. And I just think that I'll make that decision when the time comes. I'm not too sure yet.
When the athletic career ends, everybody's athletic career ends, what are you going to be in life?
I'm really interested in business. Recently, a couple of my teammates, we've started this company called SoCal Suburb Junk Removal. So we'll do junk removal and demolition. So we're kind of led by our teammate Carter Lowe, and he's been leading that, and we've kind of built this business, and that's something I'm super interested in, is just kind of business and owning my own company.
Oh, so people call you up and say, hey, move the junk away?
Yeah, we'll take their stuff out, we'll take it to the dump, or we'll demo something and then take it to the dump, or we'll move. We also do moving too.
Wow.
Dude.
You got a lot of clients for that?
Yeah, we do actually. It's actually been kind of picking up a little bit, so that's super fun.
What's your company slogan?
I don't know. He has the Instagram. He has the slogan in his bio. I'm not too sure what the slogan is.
Do you guys buy sponsorship in the football program or anything
Yeah,
like that?
Why do you advertise on the PPR, dude?
I think he has. Partnerships with Seabad Football, the Instagram, and he's doing a really good job at making connections with other people and kind of doing his best to grow this company.
Well, that's very mafia there. I'm in waste management.
Yeah.
Waste management, yeah.
Well, I told him when you were gone fixing the thing that if he picks Montana or some school like that over Columbia, I was going to come there and personally wrestle.
Well,
him
I mean,
and
really,
use my
realistically,
brass knuckles.
that's not even an option. Your parents would disown you, would they not?
I don't know what they would think. I think they're leaving it up to me, but yeah, they're doing a pretty good job at leaving it up to me and what I like. But we'll see. We'll see.
What'd you have to pick from? 2 junior colleges, right?
I see. There's a difference. My life was easier, Mason, because I just went to the school that I could get into, and that list was really short.
We had no options.
Yeah, this guy next to me, he has over 100 D1 offers. No lie.
Yeah, like an idiot, I picked Pitt. So just don't make the same mistake I made.
Yeah, but I mean, my life was easier because then this is kind of heady stuff that you have to choose from, that you have to weigh these options, and you kind of have to grow up pretty quickly, do you not?
A little bit, yeah. I feel like I'm kind of putting it off until the end of the season, but when that time comes, it's definitely going to be a lot to think about and a lot to consider when I'm picking where I want to go.
Well, I'm going to give you, because this is the thing we never get. Well, you probably get it, but we didn't get it back in my day. There's Notre Dame and there's Pitt. You have fun on your visit to Pitt, and it's great and all, but you leave Pittsburgh and there's no connection anymore. You can go to Notre Dame, you can go anywhere in the country, and you get a job somewhere, You look at it, you pick up your resume. I went to Columbia or I went to Montana. The Columbia guy's getting the job, and that's kind of the thing. We don't look past that usually.
Yeah, I mean that diploma, while it's just a piece of paper, it's invaluable because it opens so many doors for you later in life.
Yeah, I've definitely thought about that. Going to Columbia I would definitely meet a ton of people, and I would have a ton of like options after college on what I want to do, and I think those connections would be very important. So that's definitely something to consider.
But in your head, I mean, you're a competitive guy. You don't achieve what you've achieved without being super competitive. In your head of heads, are you still thinking, okay, do you have the Sunday dream still that somehow, some way you find your way?
I don't know. I feel like that's so far off. I can't even think about that right now. I think right now I'm just focused on high school and being with my teammates, and then after this season I'll focus on college, and then kind of from there we'll play it by ear.
Well, then what's the best thing on Coach's menu at, what is it? Is that pizza place?
Yeah, is it That Pizza Place it's called?
That pizza place, yeah. I used to work there. Last summer I worked there. That was my summer job last year. Was that pizza place? I was in the kitchen cooking pizzas, but any pizza there any pizza there is pretty good. I've been growing up going there, so to have it back, it kind of went away for a little bit. Then Coach Mack kind of kicked it back up, and so yeah, everything there's pretty good. Everything there's really good.
So what's the one? I mean, if I'm going to go there for the first time, what should I order?
They have this thing it's called a brookie. It's like a brownie cookie thing baked, and then they put ice cream on top, and that's pretty good. But if you want more food, just pepperoni pizza or any type of pizza is good there.
That's how you get to 190.
That's how you
get to
in my case, it'd be I'd be sporting 230, I think.
Yeah.
All right. Well, hey, listen, Mason, you're a delight. You're obviously a very, very smart young man. So we appreciate you talking to us.